Okay, what I got for you guys now is a Talon Grips for a Beretta Nano. If you're a fan of the Nano, or you own a Nano, or you've handled a Nano before, you'll know that there is a lot of stippling or built-in grip here on the front and the back of the grip frame, and it's nice for shooting, but occasionally it does tear up our jelly rolls. Also on the sides of these, there isn't a lot of traction on there, so I just wanted to get some grips and some Talon grips for them and see how that whole process went. This is the only Talon grips that I've ever installed. By all means, guys, always read the manufacturer's paperwork on it and directions. We're just going to go through this kind of step by step, and I'm going to cut out the tedious processes and things like that. So what you get in the actual Talon grip package is you get a set of instructions. You also get this decal. You'll get an alcohol prep pad, which I've already used up. Here it is here. And you'll also get the grips themselves. So let's get into it. First thing they tell us to do is to clear our firearm, and they also say to remove the slide. So there's our frame with the slide removed. One thing I will say with removing the slide is that it's not more for safety, it's more for handling, because you're going to be twisting and turning this frame around while you put the decal on. So looking at our grips themselves, you see they're cut out. We have cutouts for our logo here at the bottom of the Beretta, and we also have this portion here that's going to wrap around. Instructions will tell us to do a test fit of the actual grips to see how they're going to fit. As you see, it's going to wrap around just like that there. And then what we're going to do is we're going to start left-hand side and tuck the right-hand side in underneath it. So it's going to cover up all that the cheese grater effect we have. Looking at the back of it, you can tell that they're laser cut, so the accuracy on the cutting of them, I believe it's pretty top-notch. There's no dies or anything like that, just a nice laser that's going to cut those out. So then you're going into clean the grip frame with your alcohol pad. It says not to use anything else. I would imagine that you could use brake cleaner. I don't see that being too big of a problem. Anything that's not going to leave a residue on there, it's going to take off that mass stuff. Probably the best thing to do is use the brake cleaner to take off built up crud, and then use the alcohol to clean off any residual residue or anything like that. Next thing the instructions tell us to do in a roundabout way is to remove the rubber backing, or to remove the backing. If I can get a fingernail onto there. There it goes. From the grip. So initially, there isn't a whole lot of stick on these. However, if you leave your finger in one place too long, you end up finding all that grip. There's a little piece there that wasn't pulled out. No big deal. It was back here in the back strap. So then we're going to start on the left-hand side and work our way around. This is going to be upside down for you guys. Sorry about that, but I'm going to have to do it upside down if I want this to go on straight. So I'm using the logo as a reference point on the pistol. In addition to that, I'm also using this edge that is along this trigger cutout here, right along this area. I'm using that as well as a reference point. So you can lay this material down, and then you can peel it back up if you need to. They say not to stretch it. You want it tight so it's not rolled anywhere, but you don't want to stretch the material out anywhere. You see another little piece of paper here on the back strap. It might give us some problems. So I'll remove that. Okay. Start the highest point, and then I'm going to roll it down. It shouldn't overlap anywhere on the back here. If it does, that's going to be a spot for it to wear out and to pop back up. So once again, using that reference point of the logo at the bottom of the grip, I'm just going to line that up as well. Okay. And then, as they say, bring it around town, or around the front of the pistol. Sorry, my humor is very dry. So you can see I just laid that down and I just peeled it back up. So it's not like it's, once it's down, it's down forever. That step comes later. So you can see, I'm going over it, and it's going to tell us to overlay it here. And that gives us a little bit of a ridge. You could trim that if you wanted to. I'm going to just look over it once again here. This side's nice and even over here. There's a little bit of a difference from my right side to the left side here, but I'm not really that much of a stickler for it. So with that down, I'm going to give it a nice press down. I'm going to work it from the middle to the edges. That way, if there's any air bubbles trapped underneath, I'm pushing them out to the edges. And the highest point, I'm working that down, and then working out to the ends. There is a little bit of a taper right here, so if like you were going to grab your mag out of the Nano on the original grip, it's kind of tapered right at this point here and on the other side. So they did do a little bit of a cut there. And like I said, this is just rubber, so you can always trim this back. The final step is kind of tricky. It's going to tell us to heat the grip with a hair dryer or heat gun to the temperature of a warm cup of coffee. Do not overheat, or do not heat over 130 degrees Fahrenheit. Warm the grips and press them firmly into place. Repeat this step several times, conforming the grip to the factory grip. Pay attention to firmly press all outside edges. So now we're going to grab a hair dryer, and we're going to heat up our grips to where they're just warm to the touch, but like it says, to a cup of coffee. So there, I've got it pretty well warmed, and all I'm going to do is grip it just to set everything in place. And we're going to do this 2 or 3 times. Okay, last thing to do, reassemble. We'll put our slide back on our frame. Put our magazine in. I got some snap caps in there. Press our magazine release. Yep, we got free. Put it back in there. Shouldn't have a problem with it. And that's it. Everything works as advertised. Well, there you go, guys. First impressions without firing it. It's adding a little bit of grip, and it's covering up that cheese grater on the back there and on the front strap. So it's going to be a little bit more pleasant to carry in the waistband. Doesn't add any weight. Wasn't really that hard. You guys saw it. It was pretty easy to install. If you don't like it, then you can just tear it back off, and I think it was only like $5 to $10. So not a big loss there. If you're in the market for something to improve something like this where you can't change out your grip panels, definitely look into your Decal grip covers. Like I said, this one here is from Talon Grips, and it's the rubberized model. So I'll let you know how it goes. Maybe shoot it in a match and see how it is. Thanks for watching, guys.